looking for. Let me see if I can get back to it. Let me see if I can get back to it. There it is. There we go. I'll wait for one more down the line. Alright, well, it's gonna take a while to load. I will let your thing. And take a while to load. Let me see here. Welcome everyone, welcome in. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the collective reading. And if you need 2 card pulls, let me know, and we will get to that ASAP. So first off, hopefully everyone's having a good rising. I had a weird astral moment of me doing this. So I was like, you know what? Let's see what's gonna come through. If I'm having astral moments of doing readings, again, let me see what's going on with that and see what's gonna happen. But anyway, hopefully everyone's having a good time, a good rising, or afternoon, or shadow hour, depending on where you're at. I'm gonna jump in right now. I'm gonna shuffle 2 more times. See what's going on in the collective energy. Welcome in. So right now is this star. There could be a lack of nourishment due to an overfocus on either the physical and or spiritual. There needs to be a bit more wisdom moving forward, kind of seeing the scales and seeing how they're balancing, seeing how they're actually going to move for you. Move for you. Dude, this retrograde's gonna kick my ass. I can't handle whatever Mercury goes in. I start stuttering all the time. Anyway, it's a lot to do with the feminine part of you that's trying to nurture both sides of your reality, but there's something that's stopping it. There's a form that's not coming through. There's more on one side than the other at this point. There's more focus on one side than the other. And you need to really focus on that moving forward to see, like, what's causing that imbalance. Is it a fear-based thing? Is it you not knowing that it's there? You know, because there's an imbalance. It's important to figure out what it's doing there, not to detriment you, but to just keep you aware of how you're working, keep you aware of what's going on around you. With the full reverse, it's not quite yet time to make a leap. Or you might be feeling like you're forced to take a leap, like you're being kicked off of being kicked off the cliff, really. But in actuality, it's not really time for a certain leap to happen. There's just there's a focus on something. It could just be an external focus. It could be a too much of an internal focus as well. Too much of anything is bad. But there's not a need to think that you have to go right now. It's not that you have to go right now. It's that you have to focus on what truly matters at this time. What has been receiving the less amount of attention, and what can you do to bring more attention to that factor, to that part of self, so that you can move forward in a more bright way. Because even with the full in reverse, this could even be like a bad start, like you're gonna have a bad start to something. But again, it's like, though these things may be happening and though you may be living in them, it's important to try and do your best to pause and ask yourself why. Why would this bad start be happening? Why would things be feeling like they're falling around in this place? And it's not to, it's not to cause stress, but it's to really see the wisdom behind it, because there's some form of wisdom that you're not gathering. You're not getting nurtured by something. It's like you'd rather have one part or one thing be extremely focused on rather than focusing on the full spectrum of things. And that leads to a lot of regret even. So even now, like, it might not be time for you to take a leap, and you're wanting to take that leap somewhere. You're wanting to make that change, but that change isn't ready for you because, hold on, excuse me, wrong way. The change is ready for you, but you're not ready for the change. There's this lack of maturity, internally, externally, that hasn't took place yet. So taking this leap now would lead to a bit of failure, would lead to a bit of detriment, would lead to a bit of a struggle. So being aware of that moving forward, not being afraid to just see things as they are. You might have fallen for some distractions in the past with the 3 cups on the ground, but you still have 2 cups on the side that are really going to be there to benefit you, to boost you forward in the way that you need to go. So allow yourself to truly see the cups behind you. Allow yourself to really see that you have cups that are still full. They're not tipped over. And yeah, I do 2 card pull for free if you're wanting one. And with the 2 of Wands reverse, it's saying that you might not be able to move forward just yet. There's something that still needs to be thought about. There's this stagnation. There's this stagnation that needs to be seen. And it's not like this stagnation's keeping you trapped. It's not like this stagnation's keeping you in a position that you're not able to see yourself through. It's just right now, it's something's holding you back. It's because you don't have as much control, and this fight, this struggle to gain more control is only going to cause more detriment. It's only going to cause more mental chaos, which is again why you're needing to take these steps back to really nurture yourself with whatever you're focusing on. If you're focusing too much on work, why haven't you been focusing so much on relaxation? Why have you been so much in one energy than the other? Where's the balance? You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm up early. With the Page of Pentacles, it's this need to really focus on the plan. Focus on what the physical is feeding you. Focus on what's not. Focus on the immature on the physical. Focus on the youth on the physical. Meaning, there's something that's been trying to grow. There's something that's been trying to prosper. There's some sort of physical attribute that has been trying to receive and move forward with you, but it hasn't been able to. There's been this reluctancy, stagnancy, however, and it needs to be seen. This could definitely be a chakra blockage. This could just be a mindset that's keeping you from getting where you need to be. But there needs to be a focus on how you're seeing the external. How are you receiving the external? What are you receiving from it? And why isn't it helping you? What's keeping it from allowing you to see a benefit? And not letting that like scare you. Not letting that tantalize you at this time. Yeah, even with the 7 of Pentacles coming out, it's like you might be overworking. You might be over focusing on one side. It's just there's this imbalance of trying to do one thing when it's not working, and it might feel like you don't have any other choice, that things are just kind of not working out and you need to figure out what's going on with that. But at this time, it's important not to kind of push that button too much. It's important to lay back, to relax down, and not to move too quickly with what you're doing. And we have the Knight of Cups as well, because that's going to help when you see it that way, when you're able to move forward in like a more nurturing way. And it doesn't even need to be like in a feminine way. This nurturing can come from working on something different or working in a different way. All these things. But with the Knight of Cups, it's heavily about just being able to transition yourself from the feelings to the thoughts. So there's something that needs to be thought back. There's this backtracking that you may need to do when it comes to this external reality that you're seeing, is seeing the thoughts that are generating it. What are these thoughts being fueled by? Or what are these thoughts creating to then be fueled by? You know what I mean? And moving forward with that, again, with the white horse, it's about this masculine energy. It's about moving forward in this new way, so you can move forward, so you can see the truth. And Hannah, the tarot does not work like that. Unfortunately, that's not how tarot works. Many people will lie to you straight to your face by answering those types of questions. Unfortunately, I'm not like them. If you have like a question, uh, I can answer that for sure, but tarot doesn't ask by just saying like that. That's not how it works. I have the Six of Swords reversed, but again, there's something like, it's not that you uh, can't or don't want to traverse. It just may be a bit difficult, a bit strenuous right now. It might be a bit strenuous to move forward in that sense. The waters seem very rough. It's just this Venus retrograde and how it is. It's about relationship. It's about love. It's about communication and on some degree when it comes to cooperation. And it's important to really focus on how you're going to move forward. Focus on that nurturing. Whether that nurturing needs to come from a more masculine or feminine element, and no matter how it is, there needs to be that focus on it. That need to move forward. That need to truly push boundaries for yourself, for things around you. And yeah, you can ask a question if you need. And it like nurture the ideas. Like even some of the ideas that you're getting, you might not feel like they're going to be worth it. I talked about this before though. It's like just getting rid of some of these ideas that you might be holding on to free up room for other things. With the Queen of Wands, the black cat being on it, the sunflower being on it, it's like you don't believe that what you're seeing is actually helpful. You don't believe that what you're receiving is actual protection. It feels like a detriment. It feels like a stagnation. It feels like you're being restricted by the divine, or maybe even if you feel like this by someone else. But at the end of the day, it's not that. There's these ideas that haven't been seen yet. These ideas that have been rejected that would have pushed you forward even more in a direction that would be more suitable for you. And it doesn't mean that it's all over and that everything's going to explode. It just means that now is the time to kind of focus on that, move forward, see what hasn't worked and choose a new path moving forward. Because that new path that you choose moving forward, it will change what's going on. I don't know how that got on there, but that's interesting. Okay. Anyway, with the Five of Swords popping up, pay close attention to those past thoughts. Pay close attention to the thoughts in the past that you said, no, these aren't good thoughts, or I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. Take a look back at those and see what was really going on. The idea might not have made sense, the thought pattern might not have made sense, but there's something about those thoughts went back to the divine. Those thoughts stopped coming up for a reason. It's because it came from the divine. When the divine places something on you, they're not going to berate you with it. They're not going to beat you down with it. That's something that the 3D reality will do. If the divine sees that you're not wanting something, they'll back up. But when the soul is calling for something, it will pop up again. When the physical reality is trying to show you something, it will continuously pop up and be within your face. And that's what you need to look out for at this time, is those thoughts that disappeared, those small little plans, those small little details that never popped up again. It didn't pop up because there wasn't a need to fight. The divine knows you have free will. They can't overstep those things. Your ancestors, your guides, your angels know that you have free will. They can't step that boundary. Despite us even giving them access to and wanting them to, they can't due to their own laws and regulations. So it's up to us to meet them that halfway. So now would be a good time to just contemplate on those things and see what steps you didn't take whenever it happened. What steps could you have took sooner? What steps could you have took a bit more clear, a bit more with action? With the Eight of Swords, even, because it's not all is lost. A lot of people say that the Eight of Swords is a card of being stuck, but if you look around there, the swords are not surrounding. Covering. The swords are like making like around. They're not barricading in. The binds are loose. The only thing that is there that's a little bit too tight maybe is the blindfold over the eyes. there's this need to see forward even more. There's this need to truly push forward past these boundaries. On the Eight of Swords, pushing past boundaries. I'll remember that. I got you. Let me do this real quick, and then we'll hop back into the collective reading. But I got you. So, for Nay, we are going to improve the visions, improving those things. What can be done for that? So first, at this time, take more time to read the realm around you. With the Page of Pentacles upright, read the realm around you. Everything's trying to speak to you at all times. It just matters if you're able to understand what it's saying and all these things. At this time, increase your focus. If you're wanting to learn, to channel some things better, to have some better focus, just see what's going on around you. Pay attention to the numbers around you. Pay attention to signs around you. Pay attention to how things around you make you feel. Learn that when you read things, when you're channeling things, it comes from more than just that the ocular sight. It comes from senses. It comes from feelings. Every sense comes from a feeling, is a sense of touch. That's the only reason why we can sense anything, is if it's touching something that's causing that reaction. So allow yourself to read that realm in a new way, in a more heightened way. Allow yourself to see what is around you, rather than trying to create something that isn't there at this time. That's really going to help you unlock some things. It's going to help you unlock how to read different things. And as well, when you see those things, be able to move forward. Know that the divine is always backing you. Know that things are always moving around with you. Know that the world is in your hands, and it's up to you to decipher how the world is speaking to you. You can get all the advice in the world, but at the end of the day, it truly matters how you're picking it up and what's coming towards you, and how that realm itself is speaking towards you. But the best way for channeling spirits, to channel spirit better, is just to read the realm around you more. Use more than just your ears. Use more than just what you can see. No, nay. You didn't really. I didn't see where you asked for one. If you asked for, no, you didn't ask for one. So no, not you. It's for nay. But that's the advice that they have for you. But we left off on the Eight of something. Eight of Swords. Left off on the Eight of Swords for the collective. So now back to the collective reading. We left off on the Eight of Swords, and that was just saying that you're not as stuck as you think you are. And no worries, I got you. You're not as stuck as you believe you may be. There's just an open-mindedness and a new vision, a new way of seeing things, a new way of experiencing the life around you. And it's kind of just calling your name at this time. So allow yourself to truly see that with the Chariot, so you can move forward. There is a way moving forward. It's like with the Chariot, even, you have the scepter to move forward. You have all the permission to move forward with however you're needing. But there's this lack of belief. There's this lack of trust. There's this lack of maybe even a plan. There's just not this full focus on what you need. There's not this full focus on trusting that you are able to fly. You might not see everything being in the right way for you at this time, but everything is in the perfect alignment for you. You're just needing to trust that and move forward at this. Because even with this, with the two sphinxes on the card, they're not tied to the masonry. You're just sitting inside of it. It's using the mind in a new way. It's allowing the mind to be free to set itself ablaze, really, and allowing it to truly fuel its own self. Allowing both elements to be supportive of what's going on. And again, it's not that you're not free. It's just these thoughts that you're having are making you feel like things are going bad. Where, again, see where you're putting your focus on. Is it too much on the physical? Is it too much on the spiritual? Is it too much on the internal? Is it too much on the external? What's going on with that? And how can you push forward to really free yourself from that sort of boundary, from that sort of way of being, with the King of Pentacles reversed? Because it's not, the physical isn't allowing you to mature at this time. The workings aren't allowing you to mature. There's something that isn't growing the way it should be, or the way that you deem it to be, or the way that you would want it to. So really focus on how you would want these things to move, how you would want these things to grow. Put your energy towards that, and then take those steps that are needed. Take those steps that are going to actually value you and be of worth, to push you to higher levels, to push you to where you need to go. It's going to require a lot of letting go. It's going to require a lot of open-mindedness, not holding so tight, not being so constrained towards matter and time, and just allowing things to flow as they need to, allowing things to flow as they can. Because life will always do its own thing, and when you're in the midst of it, it's important not to get stuck up in that whole field. It's important not to get lost in the current. So really don't allow time and matter to be a restraint for you at this time. Really see what you're holding on to, and why you're holding on to it. You know, did it used to bring a sense of security that it no longer does? It's because you've outgrown that version of yourself, and it's time to truly see that, so you're no longer stuck in these past paradigms of that past self. Don't allow your thoughts that you've had in the past really deter you and tear you down at this time. That's not what they're there to do. That's not what they're there to be. They're not supposed to be self-sabotaging. They're supposed to be beneficial. And the sooner that you can see these thoughts, these patterns that you've like left, and may even be like rethinking about, or thinking about going back to, see the benefit of those thoughts, to try and see why you don't need to move forward in that sort of way, or why you could move forward in that sort of way. It's all these things you need to weigh out. And again, just the increase of focus on things. But first and foremost, you need to learn how to speak fish. Before you worry about the thoughts, you need to worry about your feelings. What are your feelings trying to tell you? Because those feelings are fueling those thoughts. And those it could be a thought that's feeling a feeling that's giving it its own energy, or it could just be a feeling that's feeling it. However, you need to see it for how it is. You need to learn how to speak that language of your feelings, speak that language of the fuel, so you know how you're being fueled, so you know the true message that's being sent, rather than the ego's way of seeing it, which would be the thought form, or the rational mind itself, which would be the externalization of it, right? Once you do that, you'll be able to gain this power, this overstanding, this ability to see beyond the veil with what you're trying to do. And again, it'd be still working with both the masculine and feminine energies. The orb and the knee pointing up to the orb, the left hand represents the feminine body part, the feminine vessel. And the knee pointing towards it shows that it has authority, showing you to focus towards it. Really allow yourself to have the divine rest in your palm. The feminine needs to rest, and the masculine needs to be held stiff. And with the Two of Wands again, reverse, it's super important to know that you are able to move forward, but don't allow external things to stop you. Don't allow your own observations that may or may not be correct stop you from moving forward. How do you stop others from siphoning your energy? No one can siphon your energy unless you allow it. That is the full truth. If you are focusing too much on something, and then you notice that you're feeling bad afterwards, it's because you've been giving it too much attention. No one can drain you of your energy unless you have a gateway open for it. It's like siphoning gas. If you had a lock on your car, where your gas lid was, no one could open it and get that unless they had the key for it. But because there's not a lock on it, there's not a boundary there, anyone can just go there and take from it, and there's not much anything or anyone can do. So setting up stronger boundaries, removing yourself from individuals or things that are feeding you that type of mentality, because in this reality, everything comes from you. It's really you siphoning yourself, and in that sense, when you siphon yourself, you just give away that energy. You end up allowing that energy to be ate up by different programs within your body, whether that's thoughts or actions or however, panicking or whatever. All those things are reliant from the individual on that self. The energy siphoning, like, scare, I'm going to call it the scare, isn't necessarily as external as people make it. A lot of people who talk about these things, energy siphoning and stuff, they don't see it for what it actually is. They don't see it from an internal standpoint. Everything roots from you, and it's important to remember that if you feel like someone or something is energy siphoning you, it's to remove it. It's to stop interfering with it. You might have an addiction to it. You might have a calling to go back to those things, but that's again trying doing that. And how do you stop evil eye? Stop listening to people's opinions that don't benefit you. Stop allowing people who have pessimism in your energy, because we're not messing with negative and positive. We're messing with optimism and pessimism. Positive and negative are not what people think it is. That's literally the same size of a battery. A negative energy is giving, positive energy, no, positive energy is giving, excuse me, and negative energy is receiving. That's how batteries work. That's the whole electron, neutron, proton. Look at those as the same thing. When you're talking about energy and evil eye, it's that same function. So don't listen to people who say negative energy. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just saying that because it's cool. It's a buzzword. It gets people's attention. What you're worried about is pessimism and optimism. Stay away from pessimistic people or people that make you feel doubtful, and move forward with optimistic people. That's all you really have to worry about when it comes down to evil eye. Because all anything that happens to you is just playing off a part of you that isn't strong enough or that is strong enough. It's either on one of those two polarities. So it's either you feel like someone's sending you evil eye because you have a weakness at that point, and instead of internalizing it as yourself, you can only see it from an external standpoint and seeing their actions and what they're doing instead of seeing your own detriment internally, or you're around someone that's boosting your confidence a lot, and it's because you already feel confident in it. The best way to move about anything like that is not let anything external change your mood, your mindset, or how you're walking, pessimistic or optimistic. Doesn't matter if it makes you feel better or worse. Try not to let anything change your mood, change the way that you are, because that shows total control over yourself, which is what you're really trying to achieve at the end of the day. But not a lot of people know about it in that way. Not a lot of people want to look at it that way because they're either stuck with a visiting marketing tool, or they're stuck in like just a falsified reality of their own self because they can't really accept it, which is fine. We're all in different stages, but I prefer the truth. No, you didn't miss the reading. We're getting into the Shadow Tarot right now. We still have the animal cards and the angel cards. So it's not over, but we're still moving. We have Spoon of Rosemary, 44-8. This is your test. Spoon of Rosemary. Let's get to it. Spoon of Rosemary. Diligence, mutuality, long-term relations, harmony, sentimentality, strong bonds, health recovery, protection, happy atmosphere, beautiful memories. There's something that it's the beauty around you that you need to focus on. I feel like that's a test, and it really can be a test, because when you're surrounded by things that are causing you stress or making you feel like things are going against you, and all these things, it's important to keep the harmony inside yourself. See the beauty around you. Positive and negative, those are just sides of a battery. Positive energy is giving, negative energy is receiving. That's all it is. It's just the people use it as a buzzword because it sounds good. Modern day society has took these words and then twisted it to make it feel a different way. If you look up the definitions of these things, it's not as what you think. It's not that it's good and bad. But that's what's going on with that. It's positive and negative are just sides of batteries, or just the ways of moving energy back and forth. It's just part of the cycle. It doesn't mean good or bad. You need both of them. If you only had a positive side of a battery, that battery wouldn't work. If you only had a negative side of the battery, it would not work. You need both a negative and positive charge. It's the same thing as starting up a car. It's the same thing of all these things. Because when you talk about positive and negative, those are symbols. At the end of the day, you look at the symbology of it, because those are represented by symbols. Pessimism and optimism aren't symbolic. They are definite. They have a set definition. How many times a day I think about the Roman Empire? I do my best not to think about it at all. I do not like the Roman Empire. They fucked up everything, unfortunately, and they made a bunch of bullshit. But positive and negative are symbols. Negative is this. It means feminine, the horizon. Things rise from that point. And positive is not a cross. Positive is up and down. Positive is vertical. That's why men have the shaft. That's the whole point of that, right? Anytime you talk about masculine energy, it's always positioned by a rod. A rod does not sit on its side. A rod stands up. A rod is held in hand with power. That's the reason why. The feminine is always going to rest, to lay, so it can receive. That's what we're talking about with positive and negative. The sign of positive energy is a combination symbol of both the feminine being there to support the masculine, because you cannot have anything to give if you don't have anything to receive first. So they need to be in contagion. They need to be working together. That symbol is a symbol of both of them working together. It's all about symbology at the end of the day. Most people don't know this stuff, unfortunately. Most of your gurus and spiritual teachers are not as up there as they think they are. Trust me. A lot of them actually don't like me because of what I teach, because I fucking get down to the facts of stuff. Anyway, Daughters of Men, 24, which is also 6. 24. So definitely focus on seeing the beauty of things. We have the love triangle, an unequal alliance, matrimony between people, different nationality and social status, friends, benefits, relationships, physical attractions, wrong choices, wrong decisions, and temptation. Be careful of falling for a temptation. And with love triangle, I don't always pick that up as like a relationship thing. A love triangle could just be you between a rock and a hard place at the end time. At the end of time. So it's important to see that. It's important to just take things away from the general conscious of things and see it for what it really is talking about. What is a triangle? It's a three-pointed slit. So at the end of the day, what are you connecting with? Triangles are all about connection, about power, about currency, about things moving, the Trinity, the higher self, all these things. What are you connecting with, and how are you connecting with it? Is that connection allowing you to feel safe? Are you afraid of connecting with something and thinking about something due to you feeling like it's going to tear you down? All these things. It's important to move forward. It's important to see things. Oh, I'm not a nihilist. I just tell the truth. There's a difference between that. We have Star of Lucifer, which is Aquarius energy. So definitely learning to detach to reattach. Definitely learning to see what is truly happening within the self. We have intuition, confidence, a sense of direction, occult mastery, egoism, obstinacy, temptation, faithlessness, the perfect time to implement new projects. Again, what new do you need to create? Aquarius is the man bearing water, the man bearing wisdom, action being funded by the divine, action being supported by the feminine, a masculine who is able to hold and be nurtured, and to nurture with the feminine element. What new things can you start? What new trees can you grow? What new knowledge are you able to obtain? What wisdom can you see when moving forward? Because you're a lot more protected than you think, but you just have to choose a choice at this time, and that might just be difficult because of external relations and all these things. Always make sure that when you are in these stuck positions, that you're seeing it from an open-minded view. The answer is always going to be there. It just might not be as obvious as you would like it to be at the time. And we have Agrippa, which is 51-6. So there's a lot of sixes coming out. There's a lot of needs to spiritualize things. It's like a test to spiritualize things at this time. The physical may be giving you a very, very hard time. But that's the test. Is in these moments where the physical is doing that is the best time to become more spiritual, to see things from a higher sense, to see things from your sixth sense. You have Agrippa, though, which is resisting public opinion, thinking outside the box, an analytical mind, innovation, strength of character, opposing dogmas and equity. If you are suffering from dogmas, I feel for you, but do your best to break those dogmas. Because it's like when you're messing with dogma, whether it's religious, spiritual, or however, that's fighting your moral compass. It's making you cover up your own light, covering up your own self when you're needing to see things from a higher point of view, when you're needing to see things from a higher stature. Allowing yourself to do that, allowing yourself to just not be swayed by the general public. It's like it's given the Five of Wands energy, Leo and Saturn, where you're just being tested. Is the flame that you have going to resist the external forces? Is the ideas, are the movements that you're making for yourself going to resist public opinion? Do you care more about yourself or how other people feel about you? That's where it comes down to. And that's where, at the end of the day, you have to erase how these terms sound, because then you hear that and it's like, well, isn't that narcissistic? Well, yeah, because everyone's a narcissist. Everyone's an empath and a narcissist, where everything is both. You are not going to just have one side of things. You're going to be both sides, because you are the coin. You're going to have both sides. The only thing is, one side is going to be the head, which is going to be external, and the other side is going to be the tail, which is going to be internal. And seeing things of that nature, it's not a bad thing to be any of these terms that people are throwing out. It's about how much imbalance you're causing. It's about how much you're focusing on one than the other. So really see what you need to do to move forward and allow yourself to do that. You know, be stuck up if you have to towards individuals who are constantly pressuring or trying to sway you one way when you're deciding and desiring to do something another way. Allow yourself to push forward in those types of ways. Allow yourself to move forward, but be careful of being too upset. Be careful of opposing forces causing you anger or stagnation. We have wrath, which is 13, 4. Where's it at? I'm already in the 50s. What am I doing? So aggression, destructive behavior, bad temper, anger management, self-control, and maintain clear thinking. Definitely keep a clear head on your shoulders when you're moving forward with this energy. Don't allow yourself to overindulge or to become cold-shouldered because of these new boundaries, because of this new way of moving forward. That's not what's going to help you. That's not what's going to bring you abundance. That's not what's going to allow you to see what you need to receive. That's not going to allow you to create anything that you're desiring. So be very careful of that. We have, last but not least, the book is upside down. Anarchist Fool. Let me get to that one real quick, and we'll talk about it. There's double X. X6II. And this is betrayal of hopes, untimely actions, mistakes and errors, caution, and inappropriate witticisms, dark humor, deceitful person, manipulation, lies, cheating, insincerity, emotional manipulation, irresponsibility, insidious deception, confusion, caught up in unpleasant situations, and misconception. Just again, be very careful of what you're doing. Don't blame the flesh. The battle is not between flesh ever. It never has been, never will be. It's always virtues and principles of virtues. So allow yourself to just truly see what is causing these things on the internal. What's allowing you to move forward in certain ways. Am I gonna sneeze or not? No? Okay. And what's allowing just be very careful of overindulgent in things. When you end up making these new steps, don't get so caught up in your head that you end up getting confused or end up saying one thing one way or another. Allow yourself to stay stable in the grounds in the middle without moving forward too much. Allow yourself to become balanced within that state. Don't overindulge, but allow yourself to truly stand where you need to stand at this time. When it comes to doing new ideas, when it comes to doing something different, when it comes to doing what you know that you have to do, don't allow public opinion to sway it one way. Don't allow the fears of, oh, what is someone going to think, make you do something that's not going to benefit you. We have antelope, which is decisive action. You're being told unequivocally that it's time to get moving. Set your intentions and take actions toward making your dreams a reality. You have a door in front of you. Trust your instincts here. We have cat, which is independence. You are being encouraged to develop a balance between independence and time of togetherness. This also indicates that you would greatly benefit from a profound journey of self-discovery. Learn to enjoy time spent with yourself. Armadillo, which is protection. You are entering a phase where, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. Swan, which is love. You have found your soulmate, or they're just around the corner. Remember that when two souls are destined to be together, they always find their way back to each other. All those things you had to go through are worth it. For some of you, this soulmate is just connecting back with yourself, because at the end of the day, you are your twin flame, you are your soulmate. So this could be an internal, this could be an external. Take it as that resonates, please. Well, which is communication. You are encouraged to communicate clearly from your heart, bridge any gaps that are keeping you from connecting deeper with your loved ones. It's important to speak your truth with emotion, vulnerability, and power. And last but not least, wolf with inner strength. You may be facing a challenge you feel less than prepared for. This is a reminder that you have all the tools in your spiritual treasure chest to handle this effectively. Take a step back and try to look at things with fresh eyes. And there's that. We'll get the angel cards, and if anyone needs 2 cards pulls from any of the decks that I've used, let me know and I will get them done for you. They're donation based. You don't have to donate, but it is appreciated if you do donate. You don't have to though. But yeah, after the angel cards, we do 2 cards, and then we can also talk about random stuff if you want, like subjects, you know, how to do this, how to do that, all those things. Like, we can talk about those as well. I'm just here to help in many ways, bro, in multiple ways. So that's what we're doing, because I noticed there's a few new people up in here. I don't know if y'all just haven't been talking in chat before, or if you're just genuinely new. Regardless, that's what we do over here. That is what we do over here. So if you're needing 2 card pulls, let me know. If you are willing to donate, it's in the pinned message. I'll probably post it again in the chat, because I do ever so often. If you're interested in any of the services I have, books, readings, spiritual court, petition making, meditation, music, sigil work, whatever, you can either go to my website, and if it's not on my website, most of my services aren't on my website right now, unfortunately, because I can only have up to 5 services on there right now. It's a free one. You can always email me, and we'll get you settled out that way. But yeah, there's all that information there, just in case you can't see the pin message. For the angel cards, we have the Nine of Gabriel. Stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility in environmental activism. King of Gabriel, generous, inspirational, dramatic, and driven. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Leave the details to others. Experiences that lead to success and genuine concern for others. Ten of Gabriel. Ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load. Working too many hours and trying too hard to please others. The Seven of Gabriel. Stand up for what you believe in. Have confidence and claim your personal power. The Nine of Raphael. Make a wish. Dreams become reality in a joyful time of life. Six of Michael. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation, or travel. And last but not least, the Queen of Raphael. Kind, understanding, giving, and psychic. Follow your heart. A love for home and family. Trustworthy psychic information. And there we go. That is y'all's reading. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you are, again, you know, if you're needing a 2 card pull, we can definitely get one out for you. No issue, no problem. Or just any sort of question that you have against, like, you know, how to help with this, how to remove that, anything of those natures. If I might know the answer to. Or just any sort of like conversation topic, and we can just sit around and spitball all sorts of stuff. But that is that collective reading. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, got some form of message out of it, some form of entertainment. or whatever you needed from it. Regardless, I'm just glad that I was able to give the message this rising. That's all I do. But yeah, I love doing these. I literally woke up like maybe like 50 minutes ago. I've been like 5 minutes before I did a reading. I just kind of got. I literally was like in a weird like meditative astral state before I got on, and I was doing a reading within that state, and I was like, I need to get up and do the thing that because I was doing something when I got out of that state, so I continued doing that in the physical, and then and then I jumped on to do the reading. So that was very interesting how that all like how all that like kind of coexisted. So that's just that's my rising. That's what I did. We love those little weird experiences like that. They're always fun to have. They're always fun to have. Uh, I'm pretty sure it does that? Would that does that? I don't think it does. I can ask. It doesn't matter. I can ask. It doesn't matter. We'll do that. I need to look at this because I gotta respond to this. I'll respond to that after I stream, after the stream ends, because that's gonna take a while to type out. Actually, I just now realized that. I forgot to respond to every email I got last night. I literally went straight to sleep. I got off live and went straight to sleep. I got an email to respond to. That's okay though. It's no big. Okay, so there's something you realize. No one can steal your downloads. They're not yours. Nothing in this reality is yours. Everything in this reality comes from the divine, is funded by the divine, is granted to people by the divine. This sense of ownership comes from being on the physical reality, being on this physical plane where we believe that we own something. We don't own anything, we loan it. We borrow it or we use it for exchange for a reaction on the external. Your downloads aren't your downloads. Those downloads are going to you from the divine. They're everyone's downloads. Anyone can also have that similar download, which is a huge thing with people when they get tarot readings, especially online. People wonder like why most online readings sound the same or why they're talking about the same subject is because they're drawing from the same pool. They're drawing from that same source. So they're not going to get anything really new. They're just going to be able, they're only going to be able to regurgitate whatever that pool is drawing from. Unfortunately, a lot of those pools that they're drawing from isn't what they think it is. It's an egregore that they're drawing from that's creating this emotional boundary between what they actually need to talk about and what they're pulling out from the cards. But any pointers to stop crown chakra magic is really doing crown chakra works. Working with your soul star chakra can also help with protection with that. Wearing things on your heads, bonnets, towels, things of that nature helps as well. Those all are good. Those are all good ways of protecting the crown. You can anoint your crown as well using different oils. It doesn't even need to be like olive oil or anything. It can just be like rosemary oil or whatever. You can anoint your crown doing that as well. But it's important to just know that they're not necessarily your downloads. They just come from the great divine. They come from the pool of wisdom that you are disposed upon. And if you don't do anything with those things, the divine will also give someone else those things. Because it's whatever the divine is trying to get out, whatever the divine needs to get out, needs to be given out. It needs to be acted upon. And if not acted upon or moved with, it will definitely be given to someone else. And then you start to believe that, oh, someone stole it from me. No one stole it from you. You just weren't moving with it, and the divine needs someone to take this action to keep the whole grand thing in reality moving. Because everything in life is moving one literal step at a time. We move on the ticks of time, and the divine moves on the talk. Every time there is a space of no action, or a pause, no matter how small that pause is, that's where the divine acts. That's where the divine moves. And if someone misses their beat, then it has to be given to someone else to keep things moving. That's the divine order of life. That's the cycle of how things are acting at this time. So that's the important part, is setting up like crown chakra boundaries, crown chakra meditations, soul star meditations, and anointing will really help you with that. As well as just learning, like getting wisdom, getting truth wisdom, knowing how the functions of reality works also protects that crown chakra. A lot of people's crown chakras are overtaken by archons and different types of beliefs and different dogmas and things. So it's important to really see the truth of what's going on so that you're not being corrupted in that sense, or led astray by false light. But that's that's what's going on with that. It's not to say that you're not feeling like that's happening though, because whatever you're feeling is happening to you because of a belief system, because of the matrices in your brain. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means you're not seeing it in the totality way. You're seeing it from a physical 3D way rather than a spiritual way in that sense, which a lot of people who are within spirituality or practice spirituality don't have a hard time seeing it that way, because they want to have like an idol. They want to have a scapegoat. They want to have something on the physical to see it with. They want to have a reaction rather than knowing what the actual action is. They want to have the effects rather than knowing what the cause is. They want to know the hows and the whens rather than the why of things. But when you start to delve into the why and the invisible part, then you really start becoming spiritual. Then you start actually seeing spirituality. It's about knowing yourself. It doesn't have really much to do with taking care of your chakras and stuff. That's just basic body care. That's just how you take care of the body, which is again a physical thing. The energy centers in there are what's helping you. It's the why those chakras are there that leads you to the spiritual part of it. Seeing that it's not just doing those external things, about diving within and fixing it on the internal spectrum. Fixing it in with different thought patterns, changings, and different motions that you can take is really the type of the spiritual movement that people are looking for, but everyone always externalizes it, especially in the tarot scene, dude. That's why I don't like talk to anyone in this scene. Everyone wants to externalize and say, oh, it's your ex. No, it's you, because you're also your ex, because you're split apart from yourself. So I mean, truth be told, no matter how hard it may be to hear, like, if you didn't do it to yourself first, no one else will be doing it to you, because you gave them permission by doing it to yourself. That's just how we operate. That's the mirror effect for you. But most spiritualists can't even begin to digest that, because they're not even spiritualists at all. They're literally just fakes and liars, and I will say that boldly. I will say that boldly. And your opinion doesn't hold any weight here, so it doesn't matter what you think. If you don't like it, close your eyes. You don't gotta look at me. Yeah, I lucid dream a lot. I've been lucid dreaming since I was like 5 or 6, one of those two ages. As far as I can remember, as far back as I can remember, which is like around like 4 years old. The flesh and the external reality is the manifestation of your consciousness. I talk to that all the time. When you talk about manifestation, break down the word man-infestation. Man infesting or involving or inputting itself into things, ion meaning energy, to act upon and to move. That's the physical realm. That's nothing to do with the spiritual realm. That's the 3D. When you manifest, you're trying to make the 3D move for you rather than worrying about the invisible part. I don't have dreams about my subconscious self. I take time during the day to be as active as I can with that part of me. I don't need to. I don't really have dreams about that because I actually put work into it on the physical. There's not a second that goes by that I'm not looking. Are we back? Are we good? Okay, I think we're back. I'm pretty sure we're back. I think we're back. I'm pretty sure we're back. Can I heal your depression? No, only you can heal your depression. I can guide you to ways that can benefit you to be less pressed in of yourself, but I can't heal anything unless you work on it yourself. But yeah, I'm not really like the rest of these like teachers or like educators on here. I've actually walked down a few paths that these people are afraid to walk down. So I can't be asked certain questions or I'll just not know what you're talking about. Like there's a lot of like dogma or fake information that I've purposely pushed out of my brain so I don't have to identify with it anymore. So I'll always ask people, what do you mean by that? And even though like other people might like get it, I don't, because it does not make sense with anything that's actually going on, or it's just not a proper way of looking at it. I like to be very specific when we talk. I like if we're gonna talk, I want it to be like factual. I want it to be educational. Opinions don't do much. But yeah, I've seen a lot of my past lives too. I've seen a lot of my past lives. Aha. It is down here. Awesome. Because I know this is not my first rodeo down here. It is not. Will it be my last? Hopefully. But if not, oh well. I can deal with it if it's not. I've done a lot of past life regression too. I've had to do a lot of like past life overstanding, to kind of see why you're here. Cause like at the end of the day, cause I don't really know where this whole like thing where people are like, oh, in your past life you were royalty. No, the fuck you weren't. In your recent past life, hell no. In your recent past life, you were an awful person. Why the fuck are you here? If you were a rich and a king and also powerful and loving, you know the fuck you weren't. You're here on Earth this lifetime. What the fuck did you do to come here? Why are you here? You see what's going on outside of here? You see all those nasty projections that we have to look at outside? How the hell are you royalty and stuck in this shithole? Like what? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. If everything's a mirror of you, then how the fuck were you royalty if everything out there is not? Like it does make it make sense. But they don't want to. They don't focus on that part. That part's too scary. That part's too real. Probably a poopy king something. Fucking Vlad the Impaler or Henry the Eighth, dude. I don't know. Pick your choice. It was one of them. Ain't no way you were divine royalty being stuck here. Hell no. And if you chose to come down here, Jesus fucking Christ, what the hell did you do up there to come down here? You came here on your own accord. What'd you do to choose that then? What? Like God, who are you at that point? You really gotta think about this. Don't let those buzzwords like glamour spell you. Think about it. What the fuck are you doing here? Why are you here? And why is everything so shit? You can blame a devil, but baby, you're here looking at it. It's your projection too. So what's going on? Oh no, there is a past life. The body that you used to be in, that body that you used to reside in your past life is still buried on this grounds today. And then when this body dies and it's nothing but bones and stuff, it's gonna be here when you reincarnate. You can find your past grave right now in real time. It exists in a physical sense. There is still a physical remain. Everyone's reincarnated. Unless they were a lab baby and made in a lab. If they were a Cabbage Patch Kid or a child of the corn or a synthetic lab baby, they don't have a past life. They are not reincarnated. They are a modified soul. But if you're not one of those, then you are incarnated. That's why Cabbage Patch Kids exist, by the way. That's that whole thing. I'm gonna just get rid of you. You're asking like questions that don't even matter. It does not matter. Don't worry about that. Worry about what you're wearing than what I'm wearing. I got nothing to do with you. See, that's what they all say. But are you really here to do that? How can you do that if you can't even balance out your own life first? Do you have a plan to balance out Earth, or are you just saying that? All these things have to be questioned because so many people say, I'm here to do this. Are you? Then why aren't you doing it? If you're here to balance out Earth, that's not an energetic thing. You're talking about the physical now. Now you're talking about the physical. And you're trying to mess with energy whenever we live in a chaotic world. This world is ran off chaos theory. So what are you doing to the energy to cause it to go in balance when it already is in balance by its imbalancedness? All these things. Because you're talking to the wrong one. Well, the right one, really. I'll be the one to question you on these things to see if you actually know what you're talking about, instead of just saying blanket terms. Because what's God's plan then? If God has a plan right now, what is God's plan to fix the energies that he could just do himself? If all true and almighty, why would he need to send vessels down here to do it himself? You know what I mean? Really think about it. Really drop that ego and think about it. You'll see the truth and you'll be like, damn, never mind then. Trust me on it. Trust me, because I'm not like the rest of these spirituals. I look at shit and I will question it till it's fucking makes sense. Definitely, for sure. To shake up a routine of infinite existence for yourself, for sure. Because there's something along the lines that's keeping you on this plane. Everyone's changing and dying because dying is changing a state. So yeah, everyone's doing that. In fact, everyone. I mean, you're dying right now. Your cells are being disintegrated and then regenerated at the same time. So yeah, everyone's dying and stuff. That's just how it is. In the grand scheme of things, that's how reality works. And that's another thing with the spiritual community. For some reason, they think that because someone did something bad to them, that they're dying. That's not it at all. You know, your soul has a timer, right? And when that timer is up, you just disappear. It's a pre-made thing. It's a pre-made thing. It's all talked. Everything's already been planned out and read like a script before you come into this physical vessel. So whenever people want to hold on to the egoic matter of I'm so strong, I made people die. No, actually, it was just their time to die, and unfortunately, you had to be the one to, you know, be part of that timer. It wasn't because of you. It's just because that soul, that individual soul, said, "Yep, this is how much time I wanted to spend here," and then leave. How do I know this information? I'm a Nuwapian. I'm an ancient soul. You'll never meet someone like this. It's very rare to meet someone like me. I spend time studying. I spend time studying physics. I spend time studying sciences, neurosciences, quantum mechanics, metaphysics. I spend time actually studying and learning these things. I literally was studying how the brain works in psychology when I was 15. This is my life. And I'd like to know what's going on. And when you spend time studying and sticking close to spirit, not sticking close to an idol, not sticking close to dogmas, but sticking close to spirit, the true divine self, things begin to click. You then are able to then put two and two together. I focus not only on the visible, but the invisible. Some people can't do that. Some people not be able to fathom that. But there's a side of you that you're not focusing on, that you don't focus on, that you only hear whenever it fully benefits you in an egoic or a fleshly manner. That's how I know all this stuff. Because I don't just look at it at face value. There's two sides of a coin always. One side of a question is always going to have another. And in the middle of that is the truth. It's the totality. Yeah, of course you're witnessing karma. Karma is the reaction to a choice that you made. It's not about things being good or bad. Karma is literally the action of an inaction or an action. It's a reaction. If you're watching someone get beat up and you don't do anything, your karma is to watch that person get the shit beat out of them. If you jump into the fight to break it up, your karma is to most likely get hit or to get injured by breaking up that fight, or your karma is just simply breaking up that fight depending on how it goes. And then you have to throw in chaos theory and all sorts of stuff in quantum entanglement, why you're even getting entangled in the first place. All these feelings and emotions that happen behind the scenes are all based off of sciences and physics and psychology. At the end of the day, we live in a world full of mental responses. We are reactive beings instead of being active beings. Children don't need to be taught how to love and respect. We are all born with love. Violence is something that you're taught. You don't need to be taught how to love. That's something that every human has. Unless they're a literal like synthetic person, then they don't. Then that's just something you have to teach them, which is probably going to be hard to do programming. But you don't have to teach people to love. That is an innate thing. Everyone has love at the end of the day. Can I explain the creator of everything that exists? Darkness. That's the explanation. Darkness. Everything starts from darkness. Everything was birthed from darkness. The unknown, the mother, the feminine, the deep blue, whatever you want to call it, it's the darkness. Nothing is corrupt. It's you that's corrupt. If we're going to talk about it in actuality, it's you that's corrupt because you want to change something. You want to have that power. You think that something's so wrong that it has to change when it's only something that's bothering inside of you. If it really needed to change, it would change. It would change within due time. It doesn't need human force to do anything. It doesn't matter what you identify with. It doesn't need this flesh moving to do things. Why does evil exist? It doesn't. That's you. The world is neutral. There is nothing good or bad happening at this world at any point or time. The evil exists because the evil is inside you and it's being shown to you so that you can figure out how you want to react to it. Most people end up projecting it onto people and saying, well, they shouldn't do that or they should stop doing that, when in actuality, it's you that needs to stop. Because if you didn't observe it and identify it and judge it, then you wouldn't have a reason for anything to be popping up like that at all. No one needs us to change. The only one that needs anything to change is you. There's no external about it. There's no universe needs you to change. There's nothing of that. Because listen, if God and the universe needed you to change, they would change you. They would change you just like that. There would be no need. There would be no need to worry about that. It is you that needs to change. It is you that wants to change. Not even needs to, but just wants to. It's that desire for the maturing of the soul, which is why you came down here. Not only to be a matured individual, but also to reconnect to your other half, the invisible part of you, your twin. So it's not that God and the universe needs you to change. If it's time for you to change, you'll change. If it's not, then it won't happen. It is a natural cause of events based off of choices that you make, and depending on when you make those choices and depending on how fast and how soon things are going to work. Has nothing to do with the need from an external source, ever. Why is there restriction from outside sources other than self? No other reason. It's because of you. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Everything that exists because you created it. On some form or whatever, you manifested it to see it. Will the world end in chaos? The world is full of chaos. And yeah, Jennifer, I can get you a reading. What do you want a reading on? Like general or what? Like chaos is needed. You don't want order. People want to make order. No. Do you want the world to literally explode and die? Put it in order. Put it in order. Electrons should not be on the outside force. If it's a protective barrier, it shouldn't just be on outside force repelling. It should be somewhere else. If you're gonna put it in actual order from mass, from what their jobs are to do, it wouldn't be that way. That would be order, and that would cause this whole world to fucking fall apart. You need that chaos to keep it in steady. It's not about a balance of it. It's just keeping it as it is and being able to swim in it. Your past on loved one? Well, what do you need a reading about your past love? Like, what are you talking about with your past on loved one? I need cohesive sentences, please. That doesn't, I mean, Jennifer, I need like, what are you trying to receive from them? You're talking to an actual like tarot card reader. I'm not like these online bozos. Like I need coherence sentences to like actually read on stuff. I'm not gonna like assume what you're talking about. I'm not like that. I need like what are you trying to receive from your mother with this reading? What are you trying to find out? Like advice, any words of from the beyond the grave? Like what are you looking for with that? Is there any information for why the energy seems stronger at 6, 9, 12, and around 3? Yeah, because 3 is the combination, the agreeance of 1 and 2. Whenever you have three, that is a complete unit. That is something being able to be formed. Three is the invisible, 6 is death, and 9 is life. When you go to 12, 1 and 2 is 3, because numerology, there are only 9 numbers. 9 is the highest number, so once you start repeating numbers, you add them back up. So the reason energy gets intense at 12 is because it goes right back to 3. It begins to create something. That thing begins to die off at 6, so that begins to create a rebirth, a rejuvenation. That rejuvenation creates new life, that then goes back to a new start, a new beginning. Well, of course they wanted to leave. I don't even need a card to answer that one. Of course they wanted to leave. Every soul, whenever they leave, that's a choice that they make at that specific time that they would be leaving. No, I'm not. I'm not that. Um, and I can go see what advice she has for you right now. But every soul, whenever they leave, that is a choice. That is a choice. Some people might not look at it this deeply, but even when you have a near-death experience and you see, your what you can imagine of God, or what you can imagine of whatever is happening in your near-death experience, you chose to see that at that point. It was supposed to tell you all this stuff is preordained and planned. There's no randomness. There's no coincidence in this world. There's only chaos, and that chaos determines when and how, but it will never determine the why. It will never determine the need for it to happen. Can you explain God? Darkness, feminine. God is, was, and can. Just is. There's not a personification, just is. God is. Simply put, that is God. Also, that is God. Let me get this for you, Jennifer, real quick. You'd be surprised about that statement. There's more than one. There's more than one God. You can say there's one God all day long, but we are not in a monotheist life anymore. In fact, go back to ancient times. They knew that we were in a polytheism. The fact that you stick to monotheism is because you fall for dogma for religion, and that's okay. But I don't like to fall for that, because I don't want to be brainwashed, and I don't want to get soul trapped down here. So you can keep that identity if you want. I don't want to keep it. I don't want anywhere near me. We live in a polytheist world. There are multiple gods. There's not just one God. If there's only one God, then why are there other gods that exist? Why are there other gods that people know and have studies on? Doesn't mean that there's not, just, you know what I mean? There is more than one God, and they know that. Everyone should know that. What proof is there? What's the proof behind there being only one God? What's the proof behind there only being one God? If you're gonna ask me that question, I'm gonna ask you the same thing back. If you can prove it, I can prove it. If you can't prove it, I can still prove it. Reality? Oh, so you mean re-experiencing the all, which is a secondary thing, by the way. Reality. Reality. The base word ality goes to actuality, the beginning, the truth of all. Being able to see it again is a physical thing, meaning that there's two gods. There's two ways of seeing things. There's more than one God. You can't disprove it, unfortunately. If you even go back to like Sumerian tablets, if you go back to the Egyptians, if you even look in the Bible, dude, it says it in the Bible. It says gods in the Bible. It says there's more than one in there. You literally see it. It's not like a theory. It's there, in black and white, in the script that people follow. But people don't pay attention to it. I don't know why. That's the dogma spell or something, because people don't really see it. But we have the Seven of Cups. For this. Man written? Yeah. So why are you going to believe there's only one God if man wrote it? You gotta ask yourself that question. You can't outsmart me, dude. You can't use that logic on me. Unfortunately. I don't roll like that. But anyway, let me reshuffle this because the energy's getting all kerfuffled. There's one source. We all come from one source, which is mother, which is darkness. But there's multiple gods. That's probably what you're trying to say. But there are multiple gods. There's only one source because all those things had to come from one place. The darkness, the unknown, the invisible, the internals. Anyway, prove it? What do you mean by prove it? Have you not done research on anything before? Do you not understand how things are created? Have you not read the Bible where it says let there be light, meaning that there was in darkness before anything was created? Have you not heard in any other religious text how it says it starts from dark? Have you not read the Egyptian Book of the Dead where it says a tomb started in the darkness fighting Apophis, saying that there's two in the one and that created a third, that's created the three, a tomb and his two children? Have you not read these things before? Because it's all there in all the scripts, everywhere. You can go all the way back to the Sumerian tablets if you want. It's in there too. It all starts from darkness. Every bit, everything. Your proof is literally in the scriptures, in the writings, in the hieroglyphs, in the tablets. You just have to read them. You know in your heart and soul, that's two gods. Your heart and your soul are two different things. That's two. There's not one. There's no such thing as one. You've fallen for that trap of believing in one. There's no such thing as only being one. There's no such thing as one. One is a falsified thing. And if you want to get started with one is the feminine element. It is the nurturer. It is the thing that gives birth in two. Zero is the infinite. Zero is the unknown. Zero is the darkness that which one can reside in, so two can be birthed into three. All equal to one? Nope. Not all equal to one. Not all equal to one. We reside in darkness, and the darkness is infinite. It stretches beyond miles of comprehension. Everything is one. No. You can keep that. You can keep that. I'm concealing. You don't get it. I'm concealing. You've been X'd off. It's okay. I'm just done conversating because it's been going in cycles. Not from one. Not from one. From two. That darkness has a place where it's sitting. What's that darkness taking up? Space. Where's that space at? Where that darkness is? That's two components. You can't have just one. It's like this. What's inside of this? It's air. There's air inside of this. There's space inside of this that can be filled. It's dark in there too. There's space in this. That space is something that needs to be filled up. What is it filled up by? Absence. Infinite. Anything can go in here. There is actually so much in there, but we can't see it. We can't absorb it. Two is everything. Truth is two. Truth is two. You got the wrong mind, buddy. Truth is in two. There's not a single thing on this earth that has one. And you want to know why? Because scientists can't prove it. They've gotten down to the smallest bits of this universe, and they still can't find a single fucking thing. They find a pair. That's what they find. They'll never find singularity. That's a bullshit thing that scares people. There's never one. There's a force behind everything, and that force is invisible. Just because you can't see it don't mean it's not real. It's like breathing. Totality, but that doesn't mean one. Totality roots from total. Totality. Break down the words here. Total means that there's a sum of things added together or subtracted together, or however it is, divided, multiplied, doesn't matter. There's two in it though, always. How do you know? Because I've walked down this path. You don't know because you're not opening up your mind enough. You don't see things. You're blind when it comes down to it. That's why I'm concealing. I did prove it, but again, you didn't see it. You're just, you got the dogma spell. It's okay. I can't talk to you because you're not going to get it. Why is two, that, oh yeah, that's what you should, yeah. Yeah, you can't touch things. That's literally the job of electrons. Electrons prevent you from touching. Give you a 9. If you wanting a reading like that, that costs money. You have to pay me for those. I'm just doing 2 free card pulls, but here's the info for that. I'm human. Yeah, okay, and I'm not just human. I'm a living soul. I have the breath of God in me that brought me to life and allowed me to move and walk. It depends per time. If you go to the website, you can look at the timings for that. For that type of stuff, but it's based off timing. Any type of reading I can do them all, but it's all based off time. No one said, I never said I know everything. Look, see, that's what happens when you break someone's brain. It happens every time when I talk to someone. Every time I try to talk to someone about this stuff, you don't know everything. No, it's okay. You just don't know how to talk on my level, so you're trying to like drag me down to yours. That don't work over here. It don't work over here, buddy. You're late to the crowd. You're not the first one to do it, and you're definitely not going to be the last either. But I appreciate that. I appreciate love that. I should say actually. Excuse me on that part. I don't hate that. I appreciate love it. Because again, you just kind of prove my point that you can't prove your own points because you're trying to like get on me. I'm not defensive. I'm just pointing out what's happening. I'm observative, not defensive. If anyone's defensive, is you. You keep telling me to prove things whenever I prove them, and then you say no, that's not it. So I don't know what you want from me. You're just a confused individual. You just want to fight. I don't fight. I talk. I educate. There's a difference between us. That's all I gotta say, but I'll get your 2 cards real quick. Yeah, I'm perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect, just as everyone else is on this realm. Because you have to be 2. In the realm of chaos, everything is out of order, but that makes it in order. It's perfectly misaligned. So, again, there's another bit of proof for you. Why are you coming at me like that? Like, what's wrong with them? It's like a brain disease, dude. God's not perfect. If God's perfect, then why we got people with disabilities? If God's perfect, then why we got people with like flesh-eating viruses and shit? That ain't perfect. That's imperfect. Even God himself admitted. Go study African spirituality on that one. With the creation of the human body and why we're not all the same size and why we're not all these things. If we're made in God's image and all of us look different on that sense, is that the add them up, add up the stuff. It's not rocket science. It's really just paying attention to what you're reading and knowing what it's trying to say rather than falling for the script. We gotta look deeper into stuff, y'all. Because I'm not saying I know everything, but what I know is what I know, and I will stand hard on that because I did not spend my whole life learning these things and studying these things for nothing. I did not get disposed upon information and meet specific people on my path of life to learn things that most people don't know. I mean, you have all the right. There is no such thing as sin. You have all the right to disagree, but you're just going to be lying to yourself for longer than you need to, unfortunately. Let me go ahead and do this reading before it like slips my mind again. So for Jennifer, your 2 card, right now, they don't want you to be in a state of detriment. They don't want your thoughts to beat you up. They don't want you to feel like anything is going wrong. They don't want you to feel turmoiled by circumstances at hand. Really work on controlling the thoughts so that you're not being swayed one way by feelings, and that you're truly going to be able to connect to yourself deeper on those levels. Now, it's also even followed up by the Four of Swords, which is interesting. Giving yourself more rest, allowing yourself to rest more, rest easy, have easygoing thoughts. You might be worried about things being traumatic or things being harsh, but at the end of the day, it does seem like your mother is just wanting you to relax and not think so tragically of what happened. Though it may be traumatic for you and you're still working through that, she is going to be there helping you, but you do need to take time to rest and call upon her if you're needing to have that reassurance with her at this time. Proof is truth. Oh, so you need to see it to believe it? Womp womp. That's unfortunate. I'm not like you. I don't have to be stuck on the physical reality to experience things. I understand that sensing and seeing comes from touch. I don't. And I know that all touch is not from an external source. I'm not like that. That's not me. It's not, though. If proof is truth, then explain to me how people prove things and then also prove them to be false. Proof can also be false. If proof is only truth, then you wouldn't be able to prove things to be wrong. Learn your logic a little bit more, buddy. Like, I don't know, man. Do I believe in witchcraft? I do. I like yeah. Witchcraft is just working with the feminine element of yourself. Witch is just feminine power, and craft is to create things with it. That's the same thing as using your feelings to create whatever you're doing. So yeah, it's real. People just like take it out the wazoo. Proof is in some cases only detectable through the impact that it has. No. Proof is in all cases. Everything can be proven. People just don't know how to do it, or how to deal with it, or how to handle it, or will accept it even. But that's what's going on in the grand scheme of things. Oh no, you do experience the objective. Depending on which way you digest the word objective is based off of either how you're going to objectify something or the objective being the end goal of whatever you're doing. Truth is two, dude. You're stuck on one. You're stuck on one. You're probably someone that I don't even want to look. I don't even look at that part of you. That's okay. It's subjective. It can be. It doesn't have to be. If you make it subjective, it is. Love is something you can't see or touch. Yeah, you can. You can touch love. When something's touching you, you're touching it. That's the only reason why you'd be able to feel it, is if it's touching you back in some form of way. So you can definitely touch love. You're in the center of everything. Everything's touching you and you're touching everything. That's the reality right now. That's the actuality. Yeah, because most people have a rational mind that controls them. That's why they're so subjective and only see things from one point of view. It's an ego-driven base. It's a 3D mindset that a lot of people say that they transcend, but When they meet someone that's actually transcended to 3D in the sense of seeing things from an internal versus external, they're not as 3D as they really, I mean, as 4D, 5D, whatever do they think they are. Because it's about their consciousness. Not the flesh, not what their spirit says, not what someone says in a reading, but it's about how they actually think and operate on this realm. That is your different consciousness. Many people that say that they've extended different consciousness are so stuck on the 3D that they become blinded. They're in what I call cryostasis, where they've actually frozen themselves in place by sleeping so deeply. They can't wake up. Unless they were actually burnt alive by certain truths or had like an extremely hard ego break, they would still be asleep. But a lot of people are in a deeper sleep than they are awake. But that is something to really focus on. Proof is not based off facts. Proof is not based off facts. Proof is based off of observation. Proof is based off opinion. If you prove something, how do you know it's going to be fully true? Unless you have all the sides to look at. Because we can go down to breaking down what proof means, etymologically, and we can look at the etymology of words at that point, and that still wouldn't prove too much. That would prove back to the latest of maybe the 1400s, which is there's been more years since the 1400s. It's all an equation. You can't just have one that doesn't give you anything. What you're trying to do is solve for something. You're trying to see everything around it to figure out what it is. It's not one. It's an amalgamation of many things. That's why we need to stay away from the one theory and singularity and all that bullshit, because it's not. It's a poly thing. The only thing mono about it is you, the individual, the twin individual that says they're an individual, but you are a twin individual. You have a feminine counterpart, a feminine twin that you're not listening to, which is the divine. Because if you were listening to the divine, you wouldn't be here right now. And I mean, not sometimes. I'm talking about 100% of the time you are fully connected. You're not. You would not be in the situation that you were in if you were fully connected to the divine, because they would get you out of it. They would know the path to get you out of it. That is a pill to swallow, though, for some. Some people would like to say that, but they are not. Like, for instance, I'll use myself as an example. If I was 1,000,000,000% connected to the divine, I wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't be in a hotel right now. I'd be somewhere else. But there's part of me that isn't able to hear the in-depth, deeper parts of that. So I'm in this situation until that part of me either opens up or until I actualize it. Not saying that that's not what I'm working on either. Just saying as that's what the experience is. And that is what is going on in the grand scheme of things. But that's a fun little thing. Yeah, I mean, it's important to know, like, if you are 1,000 and 1,000,000% connected with the divine, like a lot of people like to proclaim, then why are you stuck in these shitty situations? Why are you still complaining about things? Why XYZ is still happening to you? Well, because you're not fully connected. You're missing a few pieces. You wouldn't be here in the flesh if you were fully connected. You'd be up there. You'd be actually connected to him again. You wouldn't have divined, which is why it's DEVINE instead of VIVINE, because you divined. You went off the vine to come down here, and then you're reborn. Once you give your nutrients up to this realm, it's then put back up on the grapevine, the great divine, the grapevine, really, as a soul, and then it grows down like a tree, and then you plop back out into the little soup, And then you're born again. And then you're delivered by water to a doctor in a hospital. And then you're born. Or you're birthed. B-E-R-T-H. Because we're ships, we're vessels for souls. That's all we are. That's all this is, the bacteria around ourselves. Now, the ego doesn't have to be completely dead. You don't want to kill the ego. That doesn't do anything. Killing the ego just means killing yourself. Like your actual like flesh and stuff would be dead. You don't want to kill the ego to be connected to the divine. You don't have to. What you need to do is get rid of your rationality. Don't be so rational. Don't see things from one side of a spectrum at all times. Really be open-minded and see the truth of it. Because the divine can connect with you. It might not be a permanent thing on this realm, of course, because that's a lot of energy to have, and you'd probably die if you had it for too long, honestly. Because we're messing with energy, like pure energy and forces that if we, mess with for too much can definitely kill us. Like if God were to touch you, actually, you'd die. Let's get real with it. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of power coming out. Black magic is not what you think it is. Black magic is also known as fate. Black meaning death. Things that are killing the magic. That's fate. That's your rational mind. Your rational mind produces black magic. When you say, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't want to do that, that's black magic. That's yourself. That's an interpersonal problem when it comes down to that. But most of the people don't know that. The Egyptians knew that. That's why there's actual categories for this black magic umbrella that has been created to, show what you're actually trying to talk about. What are you talking about? You're talking about necromancy? Talking about cursing and hexing? You talking about that stuff? Or are you just saying black magic to refer to disagreeable actions? Because at that point, that's not even black magic. That's just disagreeable actions. But a lot of spiritual teachings are very fucked up because they don't know terms. They don't use terms correctly. They don't really know what they're trying to talk about. They just say buzzwords because it sounds good, unfortunately. It's a business at the end of the day. Most of them take it that way, at least. And besides, other than that, if you're going to take it a step further, black isn't just death. It's hidden. It's the unknown. It's the absence of. So black magic is the absence of magic? Yeah, pretty much. Dun 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 dun. We'll break it down. Yeah, see, it's like you have to do your research because half the people that speak nowadays speak out their ass. They don't know anything. That's why I'm not liked in the spiritual community. I don't play those games. I like going to the facts of stuff, dude. I like knowing stuff. No. Thank you, Monica. That's all you have to do is Google words. Just Google it, literally. Oh, I don't trust Google. Go look up, go get books. Go study books. Don't just read one. Read a bunch of them. Get you a bunch of opinions to figure out what your fact's gonna be. Go study. It's all there. All the information you ever would need is right there in front of you. You just have to be brave enough to go look for it. You just have to grab it off the wall. Those you can literally hey like I'm not gonna say it, I don't want people's phones acting up, but hey blank, you go look this up for me. Okay, this is what I found, and it gives you a bunch of shit. They're like, dude, come on. Like you get it, Monica. I know other people here get it too, but you get it. Books are better for you because they'll tell you things that haven't been misconstrued. Unless they've been translated, then there might be some issues, but if you can read the native language and the native tongue, you'd be figuring out so many things. Oh, any French words? No. Dude, even using AI, it says at the bottom of like most AIs, searches may not be correct. Be sure to research. So it's like even then they're like, we could be wrong. So that's how it be. That's how you gotta be. 1 foot on earth and the other in the spiritual. That's how you walk. You got a right foot and a left foot. The right foot's on the physical, the left foot's in the spiritual. It's how we move. It's how we walk. It's what we do. Yeah, that is unfortunate, Stephen, because a lot of people would rather use what we have for like entertainment purposes, and then it's like that that's the double-edged sword. You know, sure you can use it for entertainment sometimes, but if your sole purpose is to use it, sole purpose by the way, is to use it for entertainment, you're not gonna get that far with things. But yeah, that's what we do. I seek knowledge because that's how you fuel the soul. That's how you feed yourself. That's how your soul is able to grow and nurture itself. I remember someone like tried to talk to me about something that they researched using AI, and I had to tell them that was completely wrong, and they got mad at me. And I don't know why. They were talking about like ascension, and I was like, this isn't really ascension. This is like something I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. I just got that memory though. It's very interesting. People are very interesting. I like human behaviors, but in my studies that I've taken in the past, I like it's like bird watching. I used to people watch all the time just to see like reactions. I don't know. It's very fun. But yeah, I'm probably gonna head off in a minute. I'm probably gonna head off in a minute. If anyone needs any like card pulls or has any like last second topics to speak about, now would be the time to. And if not, then that's perfectly fine. Yeah, cause like that's what AI does is it rips that like nutrients away from it. Yeah, you can get an energy check for today, Steven. I got you. But that's what AI does. Like it's the fact that that research leads you down different loopholes and rabbit holes that really like nurtures that soul. It really gives you what you're actually looking for because you sometimes you're looking for something and it's not really what you're looking for. You don't really find it until you like stumble upon it randomly, which is the glory of researching. That's how I figured out most of the stuff I know is by researching one topic and then immediately getting sidetracked by something else. And it was interesting. Did you want Okay, hold on. No. Simon, I don't know like what you're saying there really. You don't know me. That's not who I am. That might be who you are on an internal stasis because that's how you're accepting my existence. But that's not who I am. I don't have time to argue with people. I don't have time to debate. I'll tell you what I know, and if you can't handle it, it's on you. It's not the same page. Trust me. If it was the same page, it would have been overstood. There's different levels to this stuff, and I've spent many years of my life doing this studying. It's different. You talked about the talk. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're trying to explain to me. I got some cards to pull. I got Steven. I got Love. I got Destiny. Destiny, did you want yours done separately for you and your daughter or together? And that's okay, Simon. I genuinely do not know. I just don't know what you're talking about when you said that. I don't like. Is there any context that you can give me so I can understand, or not? Because that conversation went all over the place, and I don't know what point you're trying to make. I don't go for like ambiguous, like vagueness. Together, okay, I got you. Let's get Steven first. We'll go down the list. If anyone else needs one too, don't be afraid to ask. You ain't keep me from nothing. You ain't keep me from nothing. It's the cards if you can retire soon. No, you have to work forever. You are forced to work forever, unfortunately, Daniel. But no, we'll figure it out. What's going on with Steven? So right now with the world, you have permission to do something today. Take the energy, whatever you have planned for today, definitely do it. The world is the divine mother giving you the scepter, giving you the permission to do things that you're desiring to do. If you have the hankering to go out and do something, do that today. You have the energy to, you are being funded properly to, you've done the work to do it. Allow yourself to just really relish in that and move forward however you're wanting. The divine mother is supporting you, and you have the scepter. Whatever you're wanting to create, you are at this time you can. The Five of Pentacles, you might be creating a way out of a situation. You might be creating something that's going to help you out in the long run. However this is, it's going to be something that's going to allow yourself to be a little bit easier on yourself. If you've been having like overthinking problems or like stressful mindsets, those things are going to be caused to be eased out. There is a solution coming today though for a problem that you have permission to just go forth and use. So definitely today energy check is good. And just make sure that you come out of any sort of like sluggy. Well, I don't know what I said earlier, but slugginess. Don't be like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of expansion happening today, regardless when it comes to the physical. Don't let your senses don't let your five senses become overstimulated too much as well. Be careful of that. Other than that, I mean, you got a pretty good energy, like golden energy today for that. So whatever plans you have, go for them and don't talk yourself out of it. They're going to go better than you think. We have Love that wants a card pull, so we'll go ahead and get Loves. So Love, your first card is the Page of Swords. There's a thought pattern that you have or a certain way of looking at something that isn't beneficial to you. You may need to change the way that you're thinking about a situation or thinking about traversing through something, thinking about a plan. There just needs to be a different way of thinking about something because it's not necessarily a right way of thinking right now. Your head's kind of in the clouds. You're still kind of new to this. Allow yourself to kind of let your thoughts boost you rather than hinder you at this time. There's a plan, there's an operation, there's something that you're trying to receive. With the Three of Pentacles, it's the feminine who's holding the script and the masculine that's overseeing. There's some form of divine insight that's trying to come into you to help you with these thoughts that you're feeling, so you can start moving forward with plans or activities in a more higher way. So definitely look out for that moving forward. But there does seem to be a plan that is going to be coming towards you today, or a plan that is going to be like worked out. It might be a mental plan, so really keep an eye for those thoughts as well, the things that might, deter you away from that. But really work together with the divine today heavily. Really call upon your angels, God, whomever you call on in times of need, and work with them as closely as you can. And we'll have one for destiny. And we'll do them both at the same time. That's what they wanted. That was an awful one. Let me redo that. Let me do this again, because the first time it was going good. So the first card for you and your daughter's destiny is the Three of Swords reversed. There may be a bit of tension between you two, or you both might be going through separate tensions. Don't allow those tensions to keep you all separated. Don't allow certain thought forms. Like if you're wanting to do something with your daughter, or if your daughter's wanting to do something, don't be so opposed to doing that. Be very careful of that today, especially with the three. It's a time for connectivity. It may be time for you two to connect or talk about something that may be heavy on the heart, but don't allow certain thought forms to create any sort of external problems in that. And the Three of Cups comes out after that. Yeah, don't get distracted. Both, it's like you both may need to be working on something together, or you both might be working on something separately. But whatever the case is, be there as like a supportive barrier for both, because when you support one, the other one will also support. And don't get distracted about it. Don't let outside forces kind of deter you away. Don't let outside opinions or like events. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word, but outside events keep you from connecting. If you're wanting to do something, allow yourself to move forward with that. Fake cards. No, these are pretty. They're as real as they'll get. I mean, they're pretty real. They're not like holograms or anything. They're pretty real cards, Jack. I don't know what you're doing. I just don't think you know how to read tarot yourself, and that's okay. If you're here to get disproven or proved your own way of your own existence, then you come to the right place, because I will not do either. You can do that for yourself. But yeah, I can get you one. I can get you one, Lily. And you don't need to be spamming that summit. I don't really like. Tarot can't answer that for you. In the way that you're probably wanting. But yeah, I'll get you yours, little. What's going on? Did you want it in general, or did you have a specific thing? I'll ask you that, because I gotta make sure. Either way is fine. In general, I got you. No worries. Yeah, I do 2 card pulls. I'm doing the 2 card pulls for free. They're donation based. If you want to donate, you don't have to though. But if you would like to, it is appreciated. But again, it's not required. But I'll get you after I do. Oh my goodness! Look who popped in. It's Bobby. I like how that's the first. That's like Bobby's signature. I'll know that they come in because there's always gonna be a message deleted, and I'll always see it. It's barely. There's no like, hey, it's a delete message. Then hi, I'm here. I love it. It is literally. It's like it's an intro. I love it so much. It's so funny. It's like the second you pop in, you're like, I gotta do something. Like, who's on their bullshit today? Who's getting deleted? Which one of y'all is getting a hit first? I love it. But for little, your first card is the 3 of Wands. Watch out today. Really investigate your feelings. There's something kind of lurking within your feelings. Maybe an idea, something that could be solidified, a plan, an idea that you've been thinking about. Something's moving within your feelings state right now. So really be observatory of that. There is a coming together, maybe a plan for mating or just you wanting to do something, but just pay attention to that today. Really pay attention to how you're feeling about things, paying attention to how the energy's moving around you, paying attention to like where you're at, and staying stable, staying on the high ground. Don't get too indulged with the feeling, but just observe them really closely today, because there is some form of idea that needs to be mastered, and it is going to take determination and stability to move forward in that. Really move forward with that type of energy. With the King of Wands, it's the matured flame. There's something that's going to be matured today, an idea that might be able to finally be entering its final stages of completion, or a step that you've been wanting to take that's finally going to get a news for you to get a direction to move forward. So watch out for that. Other than that, is keep an eye out for the ideas that you're getting, and get ready for some either a form of transformation or a form of change happening with that idea or happening with the situation that you're in. But yeah, that literally is how we communicate. It's hilarious. I love it. Because it has not failed a single time. It's every time there's a message that has to be deleted, and it's either I'll be heading to delete it and then it will immediately disappear, or we'll both do it at the same time, and it's like, yep, there we go. They clocked in. It's ready. It's game time. But it is beautiful. But divinely protected. I got you for yours now. I'll get yours, and if anyone else needs one, just go ahead and ask. You are not keeping me from anything. It could be general. It could be about anything in specific. Don't even worry about it. No worries. I got you. This is what I'm here to do. This is one of the things I'm here to do, at least. I don't know. Let's see what's going on. I got you, Bobby. Let's go on and see what's popping up with Divinely Protected. See, that's why I like having my laptop behind, because I can actually fucking see messages. I respond to them quick. Like, I see them when they pop up. If I don't respond, it's because I don't want to respond at the time where I'm thinking of a response. But I can't see on my phone because I'm blind. The laptop makes it so much easier. What's going on for Divinely Protected today? What's going on for Divinely Protected? We have the Two of Cups. There's a bit of disconnectivity within yourself. This could either be you're not acting the way that you're needing to act based off your feelings, or you're not feeling your feelings because you're taking some action to prevent yourself from feeling it. Take time to not distract yourself from what you're feeling and what you're wanting to do. Be honest with yourself. Authenticity is always key, but right now authenticity is what's going to really get you out of like a mucky mood or a situation that isn't serving you as well. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, it's something about the physical not nurturing you. there needs to be a bit more maybe action that needs to be taken. It could just be that you're not moving the way that you're desiring to because of maybe a lack on the physical or something of that nature, but not everything requires money. Remember that always. This could simply just be you needing to, like, maybe you need to take a bath, or you just want to take a relaxing day off, you want to take a nap or something of that nature. Allow yourself to be in a more nurturing energy. Allow the physical realm, the things on the physical that you have now, to nurture you. Even if you don't deem it to be a lot, there's something about just finding the peace within that and allowing yourself to cultivate a new energy so you can move forward, so you can obtain what you need. A lot of times when we want something and we're craving for something, we think that doing more work is what's going to help us get there. But it's more of being in that receptive energy. So be more receiving. Receive what you have today so that you can connect more with the deeper part of yourself and free yourself from a blockage or a stagnation that may be going on. But that's what's going on. Really just connect with the self. Take time to meditate if you need to. If you've been needing to work on your chakras or whatever, do that. Today's a good day for that, just for relaxation and nurturing the self. And don't really overthink it either. If it's something that's like that you desire to do, just go for it. Even if you're not able to do the full thing, do as much of it as you can. And so that you just like have that enjoyability, so that idea doesn't go to waste. So you can like use the funding that you're receiving and not like clog up the system. Because once you receive an idea, if you don't work on it, it's just kind of sticks there and it clogs up any sort of new progress from happening. So just be aware of that. But today is definitely a nurturing day for you. Take time to yourself. Just do what you got to do to keep yourself, grounded and secured. Give yourself that good self-love today. That's what today's about for you, most likely. And don't worry about the physical. Don't worry about if you don't have the supplies to do something. You'll find a way. Be creative. Always be creative when it comes to it. And let's see what we got for you, Bobby. What we got for you? We got the Two of Pentacles. There's some form of choice. There's something that's kind of stirring up the waters. There needs to be a bit more achievement, a bit more victory. One path could be better than the other. One path is a higher path, the other is the lower. And you might be trying to combine both of those paths, or even timelines for this instance, together to make a better reality or to find a better way. But right now you kind of need to pick and choose one thing, because the balance is there, but you're still learning how to juggle with it. You're still learning how to actually be in balance with these things, and that's causing a bit of disruption within your feelings. So be very aware of that. And the Ten of Cups, because once you're aware of that, you'll, like, again with the Ten of Cups, the celestial bridge, the reunion of the duality inside of you. Really just connect to yourself today, and talk to the divine about what's the best path for me. If I can't do one, or if I'm wanting to combine both, or I'm wanting to choose the best option, what's the best way for me? Really connect to that feelings part of you, because there's something like awry within your feelings between a choice that you're trying to make, and today is a good day to find that solution. And the only way you're really going to find that solution is by being in full connection. So talk with the divine, with your guides, and really talk to yourself and see what you need to do. But today is definitely a good day to do that. And of course, divinely, no problem. I appreciate you stopping by and wanting a 2-card reading, because I love doing 2-card readings. They're fun. They are fun. Very helpful, very quick. They get you what you need in and out. But yeah, if anyone else needs one, let me know. I have like angel cards I can pull. I got tarot of shadows, and animal card. So if anyone needs any of those, definitely let me know. If not, I will be getting off to do some different things and then probably be back, depending on how today goes. I don't know how today's gonna go. I haven't put 2 cents of thoughts into how today's gonna run out. So depending on how that works, I might be back later. If I'm not back later today, I don't know when I'm gonna be back. But if I do pop up back later today, I'm good. Other than that, that's all I know. And no worry, Bobbies. I got you. I got you. Today is a good day. Today is a wonderful day. Every day is a wonderful day. I choose for it. I have one on purpose. I choose to have a wonderful day on purpose, at least. I try to. Sometimes it's a little catawonky, but we fix it out. If no one else needs one, I'll head off. I'll be back. So, regardless, though, thank you all for being here. It was greatly appreciative. I enjoy it. I love talking with y'all. I love exchanging voices and just seeing where everyone's at and just talking and, you know, laughing and giggling and all sorts of stuff. It's always wonderful being here. I love you all so much. To the moon and back, tenfold and forever. If you're interested in any of my services, need to email me or want to donate to me or the fundraiser that I have for the tarot classes that I run, be sure to, you know, do whatever. Share the links, do whatever you feel called to do. Doesn't matter. I love you all to the moon and back, tenfold and forever, regardless of that. And I will see you all later.